that would make us sound like Warrington fans. On to Hunslet, come on, you all goals. Lee, please start using some full stops in your game reviews.
Don't change, Lee. Don't ever change, because this is one that Mark always has to read out.
Alan Witt says, my God, what a comeback. After a dreadful first half in which Coventry had deserved the 16-0 lead, the All Goals fought back from... When they sat next to each other from when they wrote these, 12:28 in the final 20 minutes to win. Coventry could have levelled but missed a kick from 40 metres out with seconds remaining, deciding to run the ball instead of going for the kick in front of the post. Fine margins. A draw would have been a fairer result. Massive game next week. Come on, you all goals.
Very good. London Scholars were 66 points to 0 winners over Oxford.
Their record win.
Yes, congratulations. Then we got feedback on this one from our friend Dave Cantrell.
Yeah, he was down there chatting about beer sponsorship and also watching the game. He said the ref was good, not giving penalties when players tried to milk him early on, and only 2 obvious errors, one each way. It's good to hear. First try came in 11 minutes, then it turned into a bit of a procession. 18-0 by 20, 30-0 by half-time, 66-0 at the end, with almost all the tries easy to kick. Oxford were lacklustre, and when Oxford got the ball, the Scholars' defence responded quickly. Hat-trick for Jake Melling.
There you go. North Wales defeated the Hunslet side 20 points to 12, and South Wales beaten at home by Dewsbury B 22 points to 4. So it's closed up at the top in the chase for the Shield final, and Hemel are finally off the bottom 2. It's Hunslet first with 18, Scholars second on 17 on points difference only from North Wales. All Wales are fourth on 16 points. The order of the all-surrounds behind them is Oxford, Coventry, Hemel and then South Wales. Into the NRL, it was round 23 of regular season play down under, and South Sydney Rabbitohs were 28 points to 14 winners over the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs.
Yes, Tom Burgess had 161 metres, George Burgess had 121, Sam played 2 but didn't hit any of the high stat notes. James Graham are trying 132 metres in defeat. Lee Whitnall got in touch as well and he said, wowee, the Bulldogs are dog shit. Hard to believe that this fixture was the grand final 3 years ago. James Graham at least put the effort in and grabbed a try, although it would have been disallowed if it had gone to the bunker. All the Burgess boys look good, especially Tom, who made some big metres. Hopefully this will build their confidence for a good end to the season. Just don't expect future opposition to be so inept.
To the remaining fixtures then, Parramatta Eels defeated at home 29 points to 10 by the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, and Super League returnee bound Joe Wardle played in this one.
There you go. Brisbane Broncos defeated my Sharkies 32 points to 10. The St George Illawarra Dragons were 42 points to 16 winners over the Gold Coast Titans.
Gareth Widdop again setting up tries. A try assist and 140 metres for the halfback here, and Joe Greenwood played for the Titans.
Close one at Amy Park as the Melbourne Storm were 16 points to 13 winners over the Sydney Roosters. The Penrith Panthers defeated the North Queensland Cowboys 24 points to 16. The New Zealand Warriors lost out at home 16 points to 36 against the Canberra Raiders.
Yeah, and our boys Josh Hodgson with 45 tackles. Elliot Whitehead starting the game at loose forward, a try assist and 40 tackles.
And the final game of the round saw the West Tigers narrowly defeat the Manly Sea Eagles 30 points to 26.
Yeah, which was a bit of a surprise. The Storm are on top on 38 points now, Tom, and assured of the top 4. They're 1 win away from being minor premiers, but it's close behind them. The Broncos Roosters are on 32, the Sharks Neils are on 30, the Panthers, Sea Eagles and Cowboys are on 28. So that's the rest of the top 8 all in the top 4 conversation. Yeah. Just outside the top 8 are the Dragons on 26, the Raiders on 24, everyone else is out of the running.
There you go, a couple of results to bring you then from outside the more corner garden realms of rugby league. It was the Welsh RL Premier League Grand Final last weekend, and the Valley Cougars came out on top, 32 points to 18 winners over the Torfian Tigers. And the final result to tell you about saw the Wheelchair Rugby League Challenge Cup final being played, and it finished Leeds 48, Halifax 110.
Yeah, well done to the Blue Sox.
Bravo to the Blue Sox indeed. Right, that is the world of rugby league definitely well and truly covered. Let's take a look into the future now as we bring you our predictions for round 3 of the qualifiers and the Super 8s. Okay then, Mark, round 3 of what we're going to call it, not playoffs, second phase of the season.
It's the Super 8.
Kicks off. The Super 8s, Mark.
They're called the Super 8s. Then within them they have the Super League Super 8, the Qualifiers Super 8, well the Qualifiers 8.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do with that. They just call it the Qualifiers.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Super 8's round 3 kicks off. Thursday evening, Castleford take on Wakefield. Castleford can win the league leaders' shield officially, but boy oh boy, wouldn't John Keir and Wakefield like to be the ones to prevent the party? Do you think they can?
They can.
Do Do you think they will?
No.
Me neither.
I don't think they will.
I think it'll be close, though. I think it'll be a high-scoring affair. I think Wakefield will come and have a right good go at it and might even lead for a big portion of this before Cass ultimately pull the socks up and get the result.
Yeah.
I'm going 30 points to 20 in favour of the Tigers.
Well, I'm going very close, 28 points to 18. It'll be a 5-try to win. 5-try to 3 win for Cass.
Yeah.
I think it might be an exciting one, but I think Cass will have enough. And I also think the intensity will be there for this.
Yeah.
I do. I really. I hope it's an absolute. I hope it's an 11,500 sellout or whatever it is at the Jungle.
I do.
I hope the party lasts until whenever until after Wigan
until after the grand final.
Yeah.
One game that I wouldn't be looking forward to having on TV and is Hull FC versus Huddersfield. A lot of questions about whether or not injury-riddled Hull FC are going to rest people ahead of the Challenge Cup final. I know that players are playing for the jerseys and stuff, but there's just some question marks around that for me. Their backline wasn't exactly there and firing last week, and Huddersfield looked pretty woeful and error-strewn and a bit dirty against you lot. So, 18 points to 10 in favour of Hull FC for me, grinding out a win over the Giants.
You talk about players maybe playing for jerseys or players being rested. Well, I think there are a few people who really are pushing for the place in that starting lineup or in the squad, and those players would be people like Connor, who's been outstanding.
Yeah, he has.
But whether he gets in with Shaw, Sneyd and Kelly is a question. People like Griffin, people like Michaels, people like Chris Green, people like Brad Fash. There are a few people who will be definitely playing in this game, in my view, who will definitely be trying to force their way into the match day 17 the week after. I think it's going to be a tussle. And I think Hull FC will want it that way. So that's why I'm going for a relatively low score too, getting them primed for a tussle at Wembley. 16-10 in favour of the Black and Whites.
There you go.
Just mostly based on Black and White's defence has been really good. Huddersfield's attack wasn't able to crack through a good defence last week, so I'm not seeing where that change is necessarily going to come from in a week.
There you go. Okay, on any other year and any other week, this would have been the televised game. That's faux show. Leeds take on St Helens down at Headingley on Friday evening. Mark, what say ye?
Leeds 24-20. Are you sure this isn't on Sky?
Well, not according to you.
Yeah, but maybe I've got this wrong. Because why wouldn't the last game at with the South Stand be on Sky, because they wouldn't be able to get the cameras in there for any other games.
Plus it's Leeds, why isn't it? Well, yeah, but more to the point, it's Leeds, why isn't it on Sky?
It is on Sky.
Oh, right, okay.
We've got these mixed up the wrong way.
I was going to say, LFC Huddersfield's a shit choice. Right, so this is on Sky TV then. So, okay.
I still think it's going to be 24-20 in favour of the Leeds Rhinos.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do something exciting. I think a late winner from one of the sort of Leeds born and bred boys who are Leeds fans all the way up. Someone like JJ Beale Maguire is going to score a winning try within the last 5 minutes of this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotion attached with this one, with the last game before the South Stand gets renovated. Look, they were both pretty abject last week, these two. Leeds slightly more so, I would suggest, but neither of them scored a lot of points. So they're both coming into this with points to prove, but I think the romance of the occasion will mean that Leeds come out on top. The only caveat I'd add to that is that if St Helens' pack, which are more than capable of doing this, get over the top of Leeds, and Leeds are missing some of that grunt, and Mitch Garbutt doesn't shape up and play, and I don't know what his injury status is, that could have an impact on things. But on the balance of probability, I think Leeds are going to win.
I think there's so many people in that Leeds side who will be playing for the occasion, and the occasion doesn't overpower them because they've played it in finals as well.
Occasions, yeah, definitely.
Neither team's going to score a ton of points, I don't think, here. But I just fancy Leeds because of that home field and occasion, really.
Yeah. Final game of the round then sees your Wigan Warriors taking on the Salford Red Devils. You're not clicking exactly at the minute, but Salford are doing even less clicking, so I'm going with a Wigan win, 18 points to 8.
I'm hopeful of it being a very similar game to the semi-final, but Wigan actually slightly pushing home that advantage a little bit more. 30 points to 14 for Wigan. Whilst their attack isn't sparkling, it's the side of the two in the better form, and there will be people maybe on the fringes, certainly in the pack, especially playing for for places. You would think, although the lineup's pretty settled, there's the odd bench spot still to be decided. I think so maybe that might raise the game of people like sort of nice FPN, Tao Tai, and that, and Joel Tompkins if he can return, but I'm not sure if he will be able to. But we'll see. It's very interesting anyway, and I think we've got the strike power.
I think so too. Okay, into the qualifiers then. Warrington play Halifax at the Hannibal Jones on Saturday afternoon. Cricket score for me, this unfortunately, 60 points to 10 in favour of the Wire.
Yeah, I've gone 40 points to 12 in favour of Warrington. You didn't mention that...
Tom Heaton's going to... Tom Heaton, he's the Burnley goalkeeper.
Ben Heaton.
Ben Heaton, thank you. Yeah, Ben Heaton gets his standard 2 tries.
Well,
he's averaging 3 a game, and so maybe Ben Heaton hat-trick then. But Warrington just can have way too much, and they've kicked on in the qualifiers. They're beating everyone that they need to beat, and they're scoring a lot of points doing it. And Halifax are nominally the easiest team to beat. So
yeah, Warrington will have the last 2 games of the Super 8 of the qualifiers off.
Yeah, I reckon they'll be done by then. Catalan, did you give a score?
40-12.
You did. Okay, Catalan Dragons take on the Leeds Centurions on Saturday afternoon, Mark, and I'm going to put my neck on the line. Leeds Centurions are going to go into France and win this one. The Cunningham effect, as much as I was taking the mickey out of it, will take hold and they will grind out, because let's face it, these are 2 fairly dismal sides at times to watch. Lee will be less dismal though, and in an attritional encounter in the south of France, they will come out on top 16 points to 8.
I'm expecting a different type of game to the one you're expecting. I'm expecting both teams to be poor in defence.
Fair enough.
So I think it's going to be a high score. I've gone 34 points to 30 in favour of the home side. I don't know if I'm just hoping it'll be this, like very similar to the first game between the 2 sides. That was the very entertaining, 40 to 34 or whatever. It was a ridiculously high scoring one with a very, very late Julian Bousquet try.
That's right.
So maybe something similar like that, end to end.
Yeah.
No one really deserving to win, but entertaining, I hope. So I'm going with that.
Okay, Hull KR on Sunday afternoon take on the London Broncos. This is a Hull KR win for me every day of the week. 30 points to 18. I think London will shape themselves and probably give a good account of themselves, but they've kind of pulled the rug out from underneath themselves with that result against Fev for me, and another defeat here will pretty much put an end to their hopes of reaching probably the £1 million match. So yeah, KR 30 points to 18.
I've got another high scoring one on the cards here, but I think Hull KR will just edge it. I've got 32-28. I think London are good, but Hull KR are just a bit better.
There you go. And final game of the weekend in the qualifiers sees Widnes taking on Featherstone. Another cricket score, perhaps 40 points to 12. I've gone for in favour of Widnes. They just looked so much slicker against the part-time opposition. Not to take anything away from Fev, but I think Widnes will probably do the same again.
I think they've got enough plays in the arsenal to score enough tries to make this a clear and easy win, and I think in some of the hard workers like Whitley and Cahill and that sort, they've got enough in defence as well to close out a part-time side. So I'm in the similar boat to you, slightly narrower score margin, 32-14 in favour of the Vikes.
Fantastic. Championship Shield game of the week, Mark, what have we picked out for us?
Swinton versus Bradford.
Great. Why?
Well, nothing to do with Bradford.
No, I know.
It's just we've got to pick games that have got relegation question marks around them, really, on this. And this is a really intriguing one because Swinton can properly steal a march from Oldham, who lost to Bradford last weekend. Yeah. They get a win here, and it really... I mean, Oldham could still win their game, don't get me wrong, but they get a win here, and it really does set them off on the right foot for when the two sides face each other. And it'll give them a lot of confidence. There's a lot of resilience in there with what's gone on. There's a battling spirit. They've been able to bring in some players and get them on the field now. And I'm rooting for them too, I suppose. But I think it's a big, huge game for Swinton. It's a big opportunity for them to win a game in this Championship Shield race for survival, so that's why this is the game of the week.
Fantastic. League One games of the week. We've got the Super 8s and the Shield. What have you picked out for us, sir?
Barrow versus York in the Super 8s. That's two teams going for the top five, the second to fifth places in terms of that. York are in really good form and knocking off teams higher in the table than them, and Barrow have been good all year, so it's going to be an interesting one. In the Shield, I've gone with Hunslet versus the All Golds. I don't think there's another game to go at this week.
Yeah.
All Golds win this, and they're banging the championship in the League One Shield final race.
Yeah.
Hunslet can't afford to slip up.
No.
It's a very intriguing fixture from my perspective.